Big news for Serbia banking. Serbia has officially entered SEPA as of May 22nd, 2025, and they're going to start implementing it into banks starting November 1st of 2025. And so what does that mean? That means that euro transfers are going to be faster, cheaper, and much more predictable. And what does that then also mean when it comes to your relocation plans, when it comes to your banking, and for your business? That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. So some of you might not know what the current infrastructure is when it comes to getting paid in euros here in Serbia, and what does SEPA actually mean when it comes to accepting euros here in Serbia. And that's what we're going to talk to you about. And for those that are looking for setting up their business here or relocating to Serbia and accepting euros as a payment method here, this is going to drastically make things a lot easier for you now that we are going to be in the SEPA system. And so what is SEPA actually mean is that it's going to be a shared payment system. It's not going to have to go through so many layers of processes and confirmations. It's one streamlined pipeline essentially in order for you to accept euro transfers, especially for businesses like myself who work with international businesses and clients from all around the world. And what it's also going to be doing, SEPA is going to be doing, is making it more domestic-like, and so that you don't have to deal with so many regulations here. That does not actually mean that the RSD or the Republic of Serbia dinar is not going to be the country's currency anymore. It's still going to remain the currency here in Serbia. However, many individuals are accepting euros as their payment system, and they're taking on massive fees as it currently stands, and we'll get into that shortly as well. But it also going to talk about how it's going to be faster transfers. They're going to be next day transfers, or sometimes even instant, depending on how you're accepting the money, what the money is for. And it's also going to be able to make it easier for reoccurring payments in the euro currency, which is fantastic for those that are international businesses that are looking to either pay employees or send money into Serbia, regardless of what you're looking to do when it comes to the euro currency. So let's quickly talk about what does it currently look like with euro payments. This is someone that even accepts it as a business myself here, and I can talk about some other clients that have spoken about some frustrations about accepting euros into Serbia and some of their fees. So for instance, one, it's very slow. So if you're looking to accept payments here in Serbia in euros as a business, one will take a couple days for it to clear into your bank account. But that's not the only thing. Is when someone does send a payment to you currently here in Serbia in euros, you have to fill out a sheet as a business and let them know what the money's for, what code it follows in, provide an invoice, provide the client's name, and a whole bunch of digital other information that you have to digitally send into the bank, or you can walk into the bank, which even prolongs the process even further. And then once they clear that information, then that money is able to be deposited into your account. However, there's another caveat when it comes to that. Many banks here that are receiving euros here and looking to deposit into your bank, it doesn't matter if it's Raiffeisen, OTP, Banca Intesa, they're going to take a cut of that money that's coming into your account. So for instance, if you are going to be receiving $1,000 in euro payments, the bank fees typically are about 10%. And so you will lose 100 euros just in the banking service fees when it comes to euro currency, which is substantially, a lot of money. Now, if it's a one-off, of course, you could be looking to bite that bullet and saying, hey, that doesn't bother me. But for someone who's doing reoccurring payments into Serbia, filling out that document every single time you're getting a payment and then submitting it in and getting dinged 10%, that 10% can add up to quite a bit of money in the long run and for essentially nothing. And so SEPA will make this a lot faster, a lot more integrated, and a lot more standardized, and the fees will be substantially less as well. And this does not mean that you cannot have a euro account currently now. You can have multiple currencies here in Serbia. However, if it comes from within Serbia, typically you have to do it in RSD. But if you're doing euro, that's something that is not technically possible at the moment. Now, what is the timeline when it comes to these SEPA integrations? The timeline is that it was approved in May 22nd of 2025. So at the beginning of this year, November, banks will formally start the adherence process, and they'll be slowly starting to implement and upgrade their systems in order to be up to par with regulatory rules and regulations in order to fully have this online as well. One of the things that we'll be seeing come May of 2026, and this is the projection of when this service will be completely online and active, is going to be happening. So May of 2026 is technically when this is going to be implemented and fully onboarded. However, I'll update you on this later on, possibly next year, if there's any hiccups, knowing that Serbia, sometimes has challenges when it comes to upgrading their systems and implementing new regulatory rules and regulations here. It could be delayed a little bit, but as far as I'm seeing, that it's still on board and going to be going live at that point. Now, what are the benefits for businesses and expats when it comes to the SEPA system? Now, the lower cost of transferring euros to domestic pricing. So it's going to be closer to domestic pricing rather than what you're going to be paying with that 10% fee. The speed is going to be, instead of days or a week, it's going to be either in seconds or next day, which is substantially a lot better for you as an individual or as someone who is running a business here in Serbia. One of the things that one of our clients brought up to us that he didn't realize when they were moving here to Serbia is that they had that 10% service fee at the bank. And so there's a couple other ways that you can work around. You could use Wise and then go to a bank and pull out dinars. You could use Western Union as an intermediary and then go pick it up at a Western Union booth. But again, that's a lot more footwork, a lot more time consuming. Then there's also going to be the trust factor with the SEPA system. Serbia is going to have proper IBAN numbers here, like any other EU IBAN that is partnered with the SEPA system. Reoccurring billing, SEPA direct debit unlocks subscriptions and SaaS models here in Serbia. So if you are running a SaaS business, this is going to be much better, especially if you have a subscription-based business where you have reoccurring money coming in or going out. So that's going to be fantastic for those types of businesses. The cash flow boost, it's going to be a faster settlement, better treasury control as well, which a lot of people want good control over their money. They want to know what they bill for is they're going to get that into their bank account at a certain time, and then you're going to get better remittances. Cheaper and easier for families with EU ties, which a lot of families that come here, they want to open up a bank here in Serbia and then transfer their money here because by law, you're only allowed to bring in under 10,000 euros in cash. And so if you're looking to purchase property, opening up a business here, buying some commercial property, you need a lot more than 10,000 euros to get that started, especially when there's lawyer fees, notaries, and things of that nature. And so I think this is a really good boost for the Serbian economy and for those that are looking to move to Serbia. Now, what do the banks need to do in order to get this pipeline, the SEPA pipeline, fully operational? There's a number of things that they have to do. Number one, they must upgrade their systems for a 24/7 instant processing model. They must implement verification of payee checks. They also have to adjust their AML sanction screening for real-time speed and build liquidity buffers in euros for instant payments as well. So these are all the things that the banks need to implement here before this system becomes fully online. But there are some caveats. This is going to be a gradual rollout depending on each bank's readiness. So of course, some of the banks, the bigger banks such as Raiffeisen, OTP, Banca Intesa, the ones I mentioned earlier, those are some of the larger banks that we have here in Serbia, some of the more international banks, and I'm sure they're going to be the ones that are going to be implementing these a lot faster rather than AIK, Poštanka Stadionica, some of those more Serbian localized domestic banks. They could be a little bit longer and lagging in time to implement these systems. And one of the things we do recommend to our clients who are looking for bank accounts here is that you go with some of the bigger ones, especially for our clients that are US citizens. A lot of the US citizens, they can't just go to any bank here in Serbia simply because some of the banks do not want to deal with the additional paperwork when it comes to the taxation for American citizens who are taxed on their worldwide income. In Serbia and United States don't have a tax treaty. And so that means if you become a tax resident here in Serbia, that means you'll be paying taxes here in Serbia as well as in the United States. And so the banks don't want to deal with that additional paperwork. And we found that there's really one bank that will allow American citizens to open up bank accounts here. The next one is that Serbia, as many of you know, are not part of the EU. So there's no legal cap forcing equal euro fees, but compensation will push prices down. So that's another thing. And this does not technically mean, we get asked all the time, is this mean that Serbia is going to be part of the EU? Definitely not. This is just a pipeline that allows us to accept euros at a much faster and more economical way. And then you have to look at the FX costs that remain when converting between euro and RSD, because the Republic of Serbia dinar is still going to be the main currency here in Serbia. And so, what does this mean for the future of Serbia and for those that are looking to move to Serbia in regards to banking? This is going to have Serbia now banking more like Europe. It's going to be cheaper, faster, and more connected. For investors, businesses, and expats, this removes one of the biggest frictions of waiting for your money, paying those larger fees, dealing with Wise or Payoneer or Western Union or Ria Money Transfers, one of those other third parties where they're going to take their cuts as well. I find that Wise is one of the best ones to use. Payoneer, they take a little bit of a higher cut when it comes to that. Western Union, Ria Money Transfers, you actually have to go to these establishments to pick up your paperwork, to show your ID, and then go back to wherever you need to go to deposit that money or keep it in cash, which some of our clients stress that they don't like keeping cash, which I can understand, especially if you're coming from another country where carrying cash, you're worried about getting robbed. One thing that I love about Serbia is that it's a very cash-friendly society and that people do technically walk with cash all the time on them here. And there's even some businesses that do not even take debit or credit as a payment. And so if you do not have cash, you are not even able to use their services or get their products, which is a good thing and a bad thing. I believe that a lot of the Serbians still have that mentality, and I as well have that, where cash is freedom, and that once the government is able to control your money, then they can actually hit a switch on a computer and, like you've seen in Canada, freeze your accounts because you attended some sort of protest, you had a certain thought, you made a post on Facebook, whatever it might be. So Serbia is still very cash friendly, which I believe is a good thing. And of course, we here at Relocation Serbia help all our clients when it comes to setting up their bank accounts, understanding what country they come from, where is it best to open up a bank account, and make sure that you're compliant with your business when it comes to invoicing, HR, tax consolidation, and tax advice when it comes to payroll, tax deductions, and making sure that you're compliant with Serbian laws here as a business. So if you're looking to move to Serbia and establishing your life or business here, I highly recommend that you do come here, set up a consultation with us, and let us understand what you're looking for. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.